Okay, for our last group of critiques, we start off with Christina. Christina, I think you've got the best shallow depth of field here so far that we've seen. Our background is really out of focus, almost completely soft. The foreground is sharp. The fingers and the rim of the bottle are in sharp focus. Our eye is really attracted by that area of sharpness. And I think the one interesting thing you did here that I think is pretty sophisticated is you're using that area of sharpness that we're attracted to kind of create a little visual confusion. We don't know what is going on down here, and in that way you're really challenging the viewer to figure it out. And as we like to say, you want to engage them in sort of a contemplative process. So great job here. I think this image is very creative, unique. I like that you're thinking a little bit deeper about your image making, and the technique is spot on here. Well done. And then the messy boys. Oh yes, the messy boys. Uh, I totally get that message from this image. I think all of this clutter that sort of moves from the foreground all the way to the background just says everything we need to know about this person here. And I especially, again, love this sophisticated use of lighting here. Probably there was a temptation to maybe brighten this image up, but I love that we just have this beautiful strip of light that is just emphasizing the shape of his body, and then all these other little pieces of silverware and china and glass and utensils and all of that. So fantastic job here with this one. Also, again, I think spot on what I was looking for out of the assignment. I'd be curious to see what you think about the window in the background. It is kind of bright for me, but I also think it kind of helps pull our eye through that frame. Normally, I'm not a big fan of having a bright light lead out of the image, but I think it works pretty well here. So good job overall with this assignment. I think you got it right on here, and look forward to seeing your stuff next week. And then last but not least, we have Bethany's images. She again has pulled off the small depth of field effect here perfectly. The background goes out of focus, and that is really a great example of that bokeh effect that we talk about, where everything just goes into a sort of very soft blur. If you notice our eye, there's a lot of words on this, but our eye only goes to the amen here in the frame. So, very well crafted image. I think what you've done here is very successful, and you've used the technique in a manner that I think supports this image very well. You talked about how you didn't want the image to be overly religious. It was more of sort of a meditative type of image. And I think we get that out of it. We don't see all the words. We all sort of just get that, deep breath and an exhale with the amen at the end of it. So, excellent job with the small depth of field here, Bethany. And then we go to our second image with the large depth of field. Again, I think you've technically pulled this one off really well. The key to this image, I think, is this line right here that this statue of the little girl is offering up to the other crypt over here. So it's pulling our eye into the frame, and it helps us navigate visually and process what's going on in this image. So again, really well done on that part of it. Again, we've got some pretty bright washed out sky here. This is a difficult exposure. perhaps once we get into working with some raw stuff, that maybe this could be addressed a little bit better. But just something again to keep in mind. I keep telling everybody, watch out for those really bright spots in your images because they really do draw our attention away from what's important in the frame here, which is really these two right here. In fact, now that I look at it even a little bit longer, I almost wonder if we want to do something like this with the image, go a little bit lower, perhaps even a square image like that, so that super bright area at the top of the frame doesn't overwhelm what's going on down here. So, well done, and look forward to seeing your stuff next week.